Just for a moment, I want everybody to forget politics, forget Democrats, forget Republicans, and let's just look at the simple facts. If we were to learn that an individual in power, in leadership, responsible for reporting to the American people, able to fund activities through the American taxpayer dollar, had even a semblance of a connection to Epstein, and then ordered an individual under his charge to go and speak with somebody closely associated with Epstein, somebody that could provide further evidence that they're not just ones or twos, but a network of billionaire individuals who engage in criminal acts up to and including sexual trafficking when it came to children. If there was any other person at the center of this, we would look at what is occurring in our faces with Ghislaine Maxwell and her treatment as the most disgusting, disreputable, illegal, morally corrupt behavior we have ever seen play out publicly. Now, to further hone into my point, I'm going to go to Fox News. I'm going to an article recently released on Fox News where it says that Ghislaine Maxwell is getting hotel guest treatment at Club Fed prison. This article by Michael Ruiz is going to go into depths as to what is being reported from fellow inmates at the low security prison that Ghislaine was transferred to after she conducted an interview with the number 2 in the Justice Department. The only person above this individual is Pam Bondi. But not just that, an individual that last year was the personal attorney for Donald J. Trump. They had a one-on-one conversation, and shortly after, she was moved under the cover of dark to a low security prison. Let's hear what her conditions are. Ghislaine Maxwell, the sex trafficking accomplice and former lover of Jeffrey Epstein, is getting unusually favorable treatment after arriving at Club Fed prison in Texas, according to a new report. Resentful fellow prisoners have complained of changes to the federal prison camp, Bryan's security measures, and occasional special privileges granted to Maxwell. We're learning that Maxwell's fellow inmates have been warned not to discuss her case with the press. One person in particular who had spoken to a paper's reporters was later sent to a higher security prison. They have an individual that spoke with Fox News Digital, Sam Mangle, who is a federal prison consultant whose clients have included Sam Bankman-Fried and Steve Bannon. He told Fox Digital that he is representing 2 women currently incarcerated in the same prison that Maxwell is at. And he says, speaking with the sister of one of my clients yesterday or the day before, she told me that they are treating Maxwell more like she's the guest in a hotel as opposed to an inmate in a federal prison. He provides further example that prison officials locked down the entire camp so that she could have a secret visit with a VIP guest in the chapel. They closed everything down and locked everybody in their unit and brought the visitor into the chapel, but through a side entrance so that no one can see who the visitors were. It's very unusual. And again, to reiterate something that we already know, it is highly unusual, unprecedented for an individual convicted of sex crimes like Maxwell is convicted of to be housed at Bryant, the current facility she is staying at, after having spoken privately with Trump's former private attorney, where nobody else was in the room to corroborate what was said between these two, what promises were exchanged between these two. The only thing we've gotten is a redacted transcript that has names to include Elon Musk, Steve Bannon, Peter Thiel, and Bill Gates. Not in any negative way, not, of course, admitting that they had done anything untowards towards children, but to simply suggest that they were meeting or planning to meet with Epstein at some point. I don't know what occurred behind closed doors, but what I do know is that we have multiple grown women who were once children detailing what happened between them and Ghislaine. So that base starting point right there lets me know that she's a sick individual and she's exactly where she's supposed to be. No, I take that back. She was exactly where she was supposed to be until she had a private meeting with Trump's former private attorney, the number 2 at the Justice Department, that got her transferred to a place they are now referring to as Camp Fed, where she is apparently treated like a hotel guest, getting special privileges. And now I go to this. If she is lying about who she is, why the hell would you believe anything she then further says about who she saw in the room or did not see in the room? How are you using her as the basis or the merit of truth towards anybody else? Her word means absolutely nothing. I just want people to start admitting the truth. Let's start using our actual eyes and stop, again, hiding behind the left or the right. This isn't about politics. We are literally having individuals protect potential child predators. You are literally allowing rich people to divide you and hide the fact, and I'm talking about across the aisles. We're seeing names from everywhere. They are literally dividing you through stupid party lines so that you're not focusing on the real issue and that these individuals are doing nasty-ish to people's kids and then getting in positions of power, obviously in your face, saying there's nothing you can do about it. We can hold secret meetings. We can remove witnesses. We can move people to spa-like prisons. We can do whatever we want because we hold the coin purse. We know the play to keep you all distracted. And all anybody has to do is say Republican or Democrat. That is it. So that's it. You all got to let me know your thoughts. Is there a world where you can see what is played out in front of our faces? Is there a way that you can defend it? Is there something that you can say that goes, oh, it makes sense for her to be at this lower security prison. It makes sense for her to be able to experience the freedoms of sunshine and being on a jogging court, being allowed to go to a job site, being allowed special privileges where she is meeting with who knows who. Classism, the division between the haves and the have-nots, and trying to make sure that they stay in check, and how much that is eroded because they keep playing on the party games and we keep falling for it. Let me know your thoughts. I was your host, JW. I will holler at you all in the next one.